want to take a look at what we call Squad 1. It's a fire engine on paper. It is also a rescue truck. That's where we kind of get the squad involved with it. This is just the driver's seat. If you want to take a look at the driver's seat, you can light it up. So everything comes on. There's a whole bunch of controls up there for the lights, stuff to pump, get the pump to pump water, the siren, and all the fancy stuff. Okay. Back here, this is where my gear is for the day, my radio, my coat pants, special tools for some stuff, and our breathing apparatus, which is everybody knows as air packs. Okay, so this part here, this is where all the water runs through. All these valves control different hoses, how the water comes in from the fire hydrant, how it goes out from the truck. These are what we call our hand lines, which is our initial line we're going to take on each side of fire. There's two that come off this side and two that come off the other. Each color coordinates with one of these four here. So if we wanted to charge water, put water into this white hose, we're going to pull this white one. If we're going to do the red, we're going to pull the red. So it's all color coordinated, keeps it easy when we have to hurry up and times of stress, you could say. You want to grab that for me?
Yep. This truck is actually the largest pump in the county, capable of moving 2,250 gallons of water every minute.
Mm-hmm.
This
a large part of that is because of helping the refinery at ARG.
Mm-hmm. This would be what they call the pumper's component compartment. It has extra nozzles, lights, and so forth for the guy actually pumping the fire truck. We also have, because we're what's called an all hazards department, we also have absorbent material in case of liquid spills, hazardous material liquid spills. Just like such things like fire line. After fires are extinguished, it's technically a crime scene until it's been investigated and proven what the cause of the fire is. So we put up the tape, so much like a police line, it doesn't get crossed and the scene doesn't become contaminated or compromised. Moving down, firefighting is a very physical activity. We have a refrigerator with water to keep hydrated. Even in the cold weather, guys coming out of a burning building are going to be very hot, having worked very hard. They need to keep hydration. We also have here, this is more material for absorbing and containing chemical spills. On top we have what's called a high-rise pack. High-rise fires are fought somewhat differently than a standard house fire or even a structure fire of any sort. We have to go upstairs into the building and then lay the hoses out, so we take hoses with us. These are simply SCBA additional spare tanks. Scott makes these particular ones. They hold 5,500 pounds, 5,500 pounds of compressed air. We don't use oxygen because pure oxygen is actually flammable. We just use regular breathing air compressed super tight so we can carry it with us into dangerous environments. That's what these compartments on the side are as well. They're just additional because a big fire, a lot of guys working, you're going to use up a lot of breathing air. This is where we store the firefighting hand tools. Typically firefighters associated with axes. Well, here are the axes. Also have different hooks for breaking, tearing, opening up spaces that fire can get into. We have to open up, break through things to access to put the fire out. Just some more axes, different styles of hooks and so forth. A little bit of everything, some short hooks, long hooks, depending on height of ceilings. Ladders for access to different things. Coming around the back, you have your, they're called monitors. These are unmanned monitors. You can lay these out and turn them on and throw water in a fixed position very, very far, much more than you could with just a person holding a hand line. Up here is where we store the large hose that's next to the hydrant. It's called the LDH, the large diameter hose, the 5-inch hose that we can tie in to the fire hydrants and carry water into the truck. Saws for opening up roofs, doors, any kind of obstruction that we need to gain access to. This bag is called the Jules bag. It's where we keep the connections to hook up to the fire hydrant because it's more valuable than gold. If you don't have water to fire, you have a bad day. Small compartments here are going to be your ground ladders for accessing doors, windows, roofs, on upper structure floors, and more hooks, anywhere from 6 feet to 12 feet long. Because this truck is called a squad, because it performs a rescue component, in the event of a vehicle collision, we have the capability to disassemble vehicles with hydraulics and or different styles of hand tools to get a person who's injured in a vehicle accident out of the vehicle.
They're also known as jaws of life, is what the layman refers to them as.
To deal with a vehicle that's been rolled over, or it could be laying on its side, these are extendable jacks that actually balance and or stabilize the vehicle to prevent it from rolling. So it makes it safe for the rescuers and the person that could be trapped inside. More stabilization techniques are these items here. It's called cribbing. It's a stackable synthetic block with teeth on it here that interlock to make it stable even in wet and slippery environments. That's and there's quite a few in here, enough to balance a vehicle that's precariously standing on its end, whichever. We also can lift vehicles, if there's some, lift heavy objects, just virtually not just vehicles. This is another compressed air cylinder holding 5,500 pounds, and with an airbag system that can elevate even a truck as heavy as this. You can pick it up. This is access up to what's called the dunnage area up above. We have some water rescue and some rope rescue things stored in alongside the top of the hose, but due to clearances, we're not going to climb up there right now. This is the other side of the hose. So we have 150 feet of hose coming off this side in the front and 200 feet in the back, so we can get all the way around a structure that would be on fire to extinguish the fire and or gain access to it. Just some extra, again, every little place on these vehicles are used. More hooks, more tools being stored in here, and those are hookups for hose lines and tie-offs for different things.
Thank you, guys.